Tony's Topics! Hey, what's happening, folks? My name is Tony. Welcome to Tony's Topics. So what do I want to get into today? The Memphis Grizzlies are good. For years now, anybody who's been watching the Memphis Grizzlies know that they'll make it to the playoffs. I mean, on that one year, they even made it to the Final Four, and got just blown out by San Antonio. But every year they're a good, scrappy team. But they've just never had all of the tools, the star players to really push them over the top. They've had great players, Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, and over time Mike Conley has developed, but it just never seemed like they were a complete package. At best, I'd consider them like a Tier 3 team. And when I say Tier 3 team, I mean your Tier 1s up until this year was, in the East it was the Miami and the Pacers, San Antonio, the Clippers, and OKC. Your Tier 2 teams last year were like the Portland Trail Blazers and the Houston Rockets, and then your Tier 3 was the Golden State Warriors, the Dallas Mavericks, and Memphis Grizzlies. Okay, and those were, I would say, the best teams more or less in the league, the top teams that are really getting it done. And so, arguably, Tier 1 teams crush Tier 2, Tier 2s can crush Tier 3, and as we saw, Portland just did away with the Rockets last year, so they're right there on the brink. I mean, at one point, Portland was even had a better record than OKC last year, so they're really on the brink. I mean, I think Portland's just one star away from being that team. But I didn't come to talk about them today. I came to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies. The fact that the Memphis Grizzlies have some good things going on. So they still got Marc Gasol and they still got Zach Randolph. And Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph are Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph. Sometimes they'll get 20 points in a game and then sometimes they'll get 10, But, I mean, overall, they'll average 16 points a game. They contribute. They rebound. They're good guys. Mike Conley is, pretty much our core point guard, bringing in probably like somewhere around 18. This season might even be bringing around 20 points per game and, 6 assists. But who's really surprised me, number one, was Tony Allen. Tony Allen, might as well have said his name. Tony Allen's pulling in steals and great rebounding, and he's pulling in points, like 12 points. And, he was always a productive player. I mean, even Durant said he was the best defender in the league at that position. But he literally is an integral part, and let's not forget Courtney Lee. They finally got a shooting guard. So now Memphis actually has a starting five that's threatening. Not to mention, we pull Vince Carter off the bench? One of our bench players is Vince Carter? Memphis? Wow. Kufos is produced, and that kid Ben Udry, he's been in the league for a while and stuff, but he's been getting it done too. So all of a sudden, Memphis has an 8-man team, which is what you really need. You need 8 real healthy, productive players, and and at all times you can have 5 live guys on the floor. And so we actually have that. I'm not going to say any player on the Memphis Grizzlies will just blow out and get 27 points. I guess we're just not constructed like that. We don't have a Kobe Bryant or a LeBron James, but the power of those 5 guys playing real defense makes them a serious threat. We were a threat before this year. Last year, we took OKC to the limit. The year before that, we beat OKC and the Clippers and actually made it to the Final Four. Yada, yada. Someone's always hurting OKC. Yeah. Who cares? Okay? I mean, poor OKC, but it seems like every year somebody gets made, one of the 2 stars, well, they got 3 stars, but one of the big 2, Westbrook or Durant, gets injured for a while, and they just have to roll without it. So, either way it goes, Memphis is looking good. Glad to see it. Keep it going. Now, we'll see what happens when they have to go against those Tier 1 teams that are pretty much the same Tier 1 teams this year, although this season, the start to this season is interesting. The Raptors are leading. Wow, the Raptors are leading the East, as a matter of fact. What are they, 7-1? And Memphis is leading the West. Hey, who knows what will happen, though? Basketball is interesting. Thanks for tuning in.